Yes, guys, welcome back to SFeatleyTV, and we're here for Banter Your Rivals, right? It's another week. It's been first match day of the season, first day of the Premier League season of 2021-2022, and we are doing Banter Your Rivals. So I'm going to drop the link right now in the chat, right now, and I want you to smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, smash the join button as well. Join the membership. Little as $1.99. You're donated to Children's Liver Disease Foundation, as it says below. Children's Liver Disease Foundation. Make sure you join the subscription. Loads of perks, members polls, members streams, right? Early access to videos, priority shout and comments. You name it, you got it. Do it right now. Put the link in the chat right about now. There we are. There we are. Done it a couple of times. You can't miss it. So, we're gonna jump straight into this right now. Just gonna quickly send the link to a few people. I'm just sending this to a few people. Right. So, like I said, you can all come on and literally banter the shit out of us, because obviously the main talking banterous point is about Arsenal. No surprise, surprise. Arsenal Football Club, as usual, losing 2-0 against Brentford, right? Yes, 2-0 against Brentford. Yes, Mikel Arteta masterclass, right? That is a Mikel Arteta masterclass. None of this bullshit of a manager sitting there saying, "Oh yeah, well we deserve to lose the game." Well, of course we deserve to lose the game. You're fucking in charge, mate. You're shit. That's why. Your players act like you're shit because they're not interested in what you're doing because you're crap. You are crap. You couldn't manage a fucking taxi service, mate. Honestly, he's diabolical. How can anyone still say, as an Arsenal fan, you want Mikel Arteta to stay? You cannot say it. It's just not right on all levels whatsoever. It is not right to say that he should stay any fucking longer. Simple as that. Right? He is done out here. He is done. He's done. He's finished. He's done. Big up King Tony. No doubt he's going to come on and banter the crap out of me, because big up to Brentford. I mean, Brentford played their part. I mean, Brentford, don't take anything away from them. They were brilliant, right? They did play well. I don't care. People say it didn't. They did. But I'm sorry. It was absolutely pathetic. It's one of the worst games I've probably ever watched as an Arsenal fan. I'm not even going to lie. Right? Not even going to lie. Maybe the Frankfurt game when then we got sacked was just as bad. But yeah, still, it's just terrible. Absolute shit. Can't believe he actually done that. He actually put in that display. It's a sin. No, it was a fuck. What he did there was a sin. It was a sin. It was absolutely pathetic. Pathetic. Right? Weak. Spineless. Right? People forget as a result it's business. Not many managers get the time anymore. No, they don't. Not like, but the reason Wenger got so long is because he got top four every season until the last two seasons. Once we got out of that, then he had to go, right? And even then, I still said he needed to go beforehand, right? But the reason, like, so many managers like Alex Ferguson stayed, right, and Wenger stayed, is because they got results from day one. This guy's got no results from day one. People say, yeah, he won a fucking FA Cup. Brilliant. What did he do? What did he do in the league? Give me a fucking record in the league, which is actually half decent. He's done fuck all. I don't. Mate, I'm sorry. He has done fuck all in the league. He's actually getting worse and worse and worse, right? And now the situation is getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And we're all sitting here like, yeah, Mick Arteta, trust the process. If you don't trust the process, you're a Spurs fan, right? If you don't trust the process, you're a fake fan, right? You're not an Arsenal fan. If you don't trust the process, go fuck your process, right? Right. Chris, I know you got your placards, mate. I got my own. Go fuck your process. Fuck your process. Read it, right? Mick Arteta, read it. I don't believe in it. Get lost. Get rid. Buy it. Missing you already. As much as I've got a Cronky out shirt, I am buying an Arteta out shirt. I am buying an Arteta out shirt. I will pay money to get you out. I don't even care, right? I'd rather do that than waste my money on this pathetic fucking club. Simple. And now they just spill everywhere. There you go. I think you got Dan Sharp. Honestly, mate, don't start with me. Connor, how are you, man?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. You?
Yeah, no doubt you're gonna come and banter me. No doubt.
No, I'm here to just spread goodness. Um, yeah, no, I want to banter as well. I think there's a few things. I don't banter you because I feel even though you support Arsenal, you stand very much against Arteta. Um, so it's more sort of. And actually, I do want to say because I know you've got a big issue with the Cronkies, and I was having this out with my friend yesterday. I don't know how people can put so much blame on the Cronkies. I mean, yeah, they are partly to blame. I agree with that, but I don't think they're the problem. Because let's be honest, right? There is that Spotify and that Daniel Echo, whatever his name is, wants to buy the club, but the Cronkies ain't going to sell. We know that. So do they, because they earn so much money off the club. And as a good businessman, that's if you're making a lot of money, you're not going to sell something that. So if you're in the Cronkies' head or you are a Cronky, you're like, you know what? I'm not selling this club. This club's mine because I don't care. But they have put the money where their mouth is for the recruitment team, for the board to talk about players and buy players. The money has been there. I think Arsenal spent the second most amount of money in the last 9 or 8 years. So you can't complain about that. It's the board that's the problem because the board
That's
are same
because the
with
board in
United.
charge.
Yeah, the things with the board, they are. Edu goes up to the Cronks and say, right, this is what we need. You need to give it to us. They run the club. Same with Woodward at United. The Glazers don't run Man United. Ed
I
Woodward
get that,
does.
Connor. But who puts the board in charge? And if you don't care at the top, at what point is the board going to care about the results at the top if they're not getting any pressure from the top to perform? Because
But
they're
the
more
issue
worried
with
about the black.
yeah, but they trust the people because they don't run the club. They trust other people to run the club for them, and that's why I've got someone like Edu who used to play for Arsenal. So he's got that appeal with the fans. Edu won't. He wants to earn a lot of money, and the Cronkies will give that to him. I'm sure he's on a massive salary. He gets to run one of the biggest football clubs in the world. It's a win-win. As long as the Cronkies get their money, like you said, they want to stay in the black. They want to make sure they make a profit and make their millions and billions and whatever. They're happy. They don't care whether Arsenal finish 8th, whether they finish 17th,
Or in the
whether the
championship.
exactly, whether the fans are angry with them because they're making money. But the issue is that you can't put the issue with the Cronkies, because if you were a Cronky yourself, their world's fantastic. Right now, they're on top of the world. Same with the Glaziers, same whatever, because they know they're going to make money, because the fans are stupid enough to buy merchandise and buy season tickets and watch streams that cost £7. All that goes towards them. They've got the highest season ticket prices in the Premier League. And they
to
know
watch
people will
that.
pay it. Yeah, they know people will pay it. So you can blame the Cronkies, but the fans buy into it. The fans buy those season tickets. They buy the shirts. The board is the one. The boards are the one who appoints Arteta. And so, and Arteta obviously don't know how to run a fucking. He couldn't even. I don't think there's any job suitable for Arteta in terms of. He couldn't even work in the local Poundland, let alone run a football team. But look, there you go. I just think that if I was an Arsenal fan, I'd be more angry with the board than the owners and the recruitment at the club, because the recruitment is the worst thing in terms of players that you're bringing in. No one gets you off your seat and be like, oh, that's a really good tidy player. Ben White, did he get you off your seat? Like, what, we've got a really good player on our hands here. I doubt it. Partly because I know he's a good player, but is he worth 50 million? No, not really. Tavares, have I even heard of him? No. Partey was exciting signing,
You
but
can
has he
also blame
proved?
the Cronkies. I'll tell you why. They give you these stupid promises to believe in. They say to you like, we're gonna give you 250 mil. Well, there's no 250 mil. We ain't spending 250 mil. We ain't got 250 mil. Right? They come out of their own pocket. They don't take it out of their own pocket. It comes out of what we get in terms of Arsenal. And also, they also say it's going to be the biggest, like these comments of let's get excited, or it's Messi boom, or um, it's the biggest overhaul in Arsenal's history.
Yeah, but the media buys into that. They'll make anything, because some of the things weren't said by the Cronkies. The overhaul thing, the Cronkies won't come out and say, you know what, we need a massive overhaul. No, because that's just bad mouth in their own team. That's where the media comes, and the media don't play a good part in this, because they, as long as they've got a headline to write, that's all they care about. They don't care if they're making up lies, ruining people's lives, whatever. That's what the media does, unfortunately. But I think yeah, go on.
So I just want to put, yeah, I'm still wearing the shirt because unlike them fuckers on the pitch, I can wear it with pride. I've got more pride than them. Carry on.
What I would say, I do think Josh Kroenke actually does want to get involved with the club, but I think Stan still sort of holds all the cards. So when I think, because I've heard Josh before and he seems like a nice guy, and I do genuinely think he wants to get involved in the club. But I think obviously because Stan holds most of the cards, and the ball's in his court quite literally. So it's difficult for Josh, because I feel like he wants to do well by his father in America, but he also does want to get hands on the club. I do think when, let's say, the shares and stuff gets passed over to Josh, which will they ever? I don't know, but I do think that could be a big change for Arsenal. But whenever that might be, who knows? And that's only predicted in the future, which might not even happen. So it's difficult, because Arsenal aren't going to accept an offer from anyone. The Cronkies aren't going to do that. So you're going to be stuck with the Cronkies. So instead of blaming the Cronkies all the time, blame the other people, because they're the ones who are controlling everything, the Cronkies, but they don't. It's the board that has a bigger say than the Cronkies. The Cronkies are just like the cash cow. So
big up, lads. Big up.
Big up. We're going to introduce King Tony, or by his name, it's
TV. Claude, I'm going to ask you the same question that I asked.
It's time to go!
time to go, FC.
Yeah.
Right.
I'll put that in remembrance of Claude, and I know what he'd be like now if he was still here, Yeah, that's what he'd be saying, and I thought, let's echo that. It's time to go, you fraud. At the end of the day, innit? He's got to go.
got to. He's got to. I'm going to bring Munzie's car. Fair play, Stephen. Where are you lot going to go from here? Well, to the gutter where we're going.
By the way, Connor, can I reluctantly say, very reluctantly say, a good win for QPR?
Oh, thank you. Mate. Yeah, thank you. We're doing well, just like Brentford.
We beat the old Hull City, innit?
Yeah,
that was a big one.
Claude, I miss it. Yeah, we all miss him here.
Oh yeah.
Don't worry, we all miss Claude very dearly on SFeatleyTV.
Yeah, we do. He said it how it was, wasn't it? He said it how it is as well. So that was it.
I'll tell you all now. Anyone that is only new to the channel or been here for a while and already know this, he was our first ever. When we first did a live stream on StreamYard, we could invite guests. He was our first ever guest. He was the first guest I introduced. Him and then KJ.
Brilliant.
Elite KJ. So
he was classy.
They said he had a heart of gold as well, didn't they? He said he was a great bloke, you know.
He had about 100 subscribers at the time. Legend. Absolute legend. Big up Connor and me, and I'll tell you what, he'd be fucking turning his grave right now.
Yeah, cheers, Dave. Big up, mate. Big up, Dave.
By his grave, from his grave right now. I'm telling you now.
R.I.P. Kurt Muller as well. R.I.P. Kurt Muller.
Yeah.
Well, he died today. Oh, yeah.
When Arteta's gone, we'll probably get Eddie Howe, probably.
Probably be better, though. He'd probably be better.
Yeah, it can't be any worse, surely.
It can't be any worse than Arteta, man.
You might finish 7th instead of 8th. Even better.
Yeah, I wouldn't go that far.
I always thought, he was the son of Don Howe. Did anyone else think, is he the son of Don Howe or not? I don't know. No, he's not. No.
I don't think
I always thought he was.
I don't think he is. Let me have a look. I'm going to have to double check at this just in case. No.
Can't be, can he?
No, he's not. He's not.
Right. Just same surname.
I believe Arsenal should replace Arteta with Don Howe. No. Conte.
He won't want to come to Arsenal, though.
No, of course
not. If we were ambitious enough, we put the money down. Yes, we would.
Like, you put the money down. You put the money down. He'd still say no.
Yeah, so he's fuck off, basically. I think.
But the only reason he'd say no is because he knows the board won't back him.
No, he'll say no because Conte doesn't go to sinking ships.
Why would he want to be a puppet as well, like this bloke? Come on.
No, he's not. He wouldn't be a puppet because, like, Emery wasn't a puppet because he tried to call out the fact he wasn't getting backed and he got sacked because of it. That's why That's why Arteta's been so hard to get rid of, because they're like, oh, we back him. We give him. We're not backing even when we're E16. We're gonna still back him. No, the only reason you're backing him is because he's not said anything against you. He doesn't call you out.
Yeah.
Simple. If he doesn't call you out, you're like, yeah, that's all right, mate. Here you go. Here's another deal. Keep going.
Arteta's just thanking them for all the ciabattas and chorizo and all that. Like, honestly, the guy isn't good enough for Arsenal. Whether Arteta and fans or whoever want to talk about it, he generally isn't good enough.
Well, you play a Tapas would do better than him anyway, wouldn't it? Let's be honest.
I mean, so I'll give him. I'll say this right. Solskjaer isn't the greatest manager in the world, but he's better than Arteta.
Oh,
he's got better players as well. Let's be honest.
He's a better manager as well. I don't think Arteta could manage a fucking cardboard box.
Manager piss up in a brewery.
I am still hearing fans saying that Arteta is better than Ollie.
They say that because he's won an FA Cup. That's the only thing. That's the only reason why they say it.
Exactly. I'd like to see Arteta manage this Man United team because I know for a fact he'd be sacked within 6 months.
Yeah.
In fact, no. I'll be more nice than that. He'd be sacked within 3.
Do you know? I reckon tactically he'll do well at Man United, but I think as a man manager, I think that's where Ollie beats him. You know, he's the type of manager that puts your arm around your player and be like, it's okay, next game will be fine. But I do think Arteta, because he likes to overthink a lot. Tactically, I think he probably is better than Solskjaer, but I think Solskjaer's a better sort of man manager.
Yeah.
I think Arteta's a better coach than manager. Like an assistant. That'd probably be the best place for Arteta.
Absolutely.
Is he even good at that? I'm not so sure.
Well,
I think he's a decent coach.
I think he's a decent coach, but as a manager, no, he's not good enough.
So he likes to talk plays through games. I think that's where the coaching comes in. As a manager, it's different because that's probably look. I think Arteta will be a good manager in a few years' time down the line. He's still young and developing. Same with Solskjaer, but I think
not at the moment.
Not
even though
moment, no.
even though Arteta's won a trophy, you can clearly tell which one's better.
Well, yeah, definitely a trophy, and then a tin pot plate he won as well. That was all he won.
There would be no narrative of from Arsenal fans if Ole had won a trophy. There would be no narrative that Arteta's better. Like it's the only reason Arsenal fans will say he's better than Ole is because he's won a trophy. But if you look at what he does, like Solskjaer clearly gets the best out of his team, even when it's in circumstances where we physically can't win. Whereas Arteta bottles under the pressure and he sits on his arse.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yep, and it'll constantly keep reoccurring. It'll constantly be the same thing.
This is why it's good for me. Like where I'm a Man United fan, I've said it numerous times. I'm not all in, I'm not all out. But if I'll give criticism when it's needed, and I'll give praise where it matters. And in circumstances, because he's the manager of the club I support, of course I'm going to defend him when there's certain stupid agendas made against them, and then there's some that are factually incorrect. Yes, it's a fact. Arteta's won more silverware than Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. That is a fact in terms of managing the Premier League. But in terms of who gets the best out of his team in terms of Premier League season overall, it's still going to be Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He gets more right than Arteta does, and Arteta doesn't learn from his mistakes.
What I would say about, because this is where the fans come in, because I know, Stephen, you put out a poll, I don't know whether it was yesterday or the day before, about would you want your team to lose so you can get the manager sacked?
Yeah.
I don't agree with that, because I don't care who's in charge of my football club, whether it's a Chelsea legend or a Brentford legend, I want my team to win. Exactly.
Good man. I'm the exact same.
You might hate the guy in charge. I know Arteta, I know you're saying that because Arteta's done very bad at Arsenal, I understand, but even if you have doubts over his ability, whether he's good enough, same with Ole at United, there's still doubters over him, and rightly so. But I would never want my team to lose in order to get manager sacked. For me, it's a results-based industry. I don't care who's in charge, but if you're winning games and you're...
I'm just gonna cut in. So I want to bring this
It's complete facts, mate.
This is the Arsenal transfer problem. I want to sum it in like this. This is the problem we've got now, and just want to get this. This is back in 2016, and this is still now the problem we have.
Oh, it's not DT again, is it? It's DT.
No, this is troops this time.
You able to play this?
All right.
Copyright mind.
Nice sound.
Hang on a minute.
He's so animated.
Forgot the fucking audio.
He's a bit quiet, wasn't
Yeah,
For once.
Yeah.
I don't particularly like any of them. Like I'm not a big fan of DT, but I think he speaks the most sense out of all of them, and I don't particularly like
Prat
him.
in the hat, though. That's what we call him, Prat in the hat, isn't it?
Yeah, he is. Claude used to say that a lot about him.
I generally can't stand Ty. I think he's so delusional.
Yeah. Well, he's gone now. Arteta out a bit, isn't he? I think.
There you go. Let's try that. Let's try this time.
Look at Pogba has left a Champions League team to go to fucking United. You know Champions League, but it's the manager that's made him come. Mourinho. We ain't got to attract. We ain't got to even attract girls. They don't attract players.
I think you'll find with Pogba, he left to join. The wages he's on at United, the wages he was on at United, joining one of the biggest clubs in the world, was the appeal, because it's known that him and Mourinho never really got on.
Exactly.
Joining Man United, honestly, anyone, even if they weren't in the Champions League, to join Man United, where's that contract? Hand me it now, because I know I'm going to be on big bucks. I know I'm paying for one of the biggest clubs in the world.
There's some players that come for the money, and there's some that will come for the club's history. And I look at recent signings, and they're definitely not here for the money. I look at the recent ones that they've got right, like Maguire, Varane. He's finally been announced. Like Bruno Fernandes, etc. I look at all of them, and I think they're definitely not here for the money. They're definitely because they want to bring United back to like the heydays of winning trophies. I can see it I can see it clear as day. But there are some players who definitely come in.
Who's that one you got, Reece? Is it Sanchez, isn't it?
Sancho, yeah. Sancho.
Yeah.
Mm,
The defender, isn't he?
47 the last time Brentford was played at a top flight match and used on Friday, mate. Has been made an answer to a trivia question.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, like you mentioned Sancho, and that's right. Like Sancho, like, he's just came in, like the perfect right winger that we've needed for so long. As soon as he joins Man United, he's put. As soon as he comes into Man United, he's automatically overrated.
I'm thinking of someone else. Sorry.
No,
it's alright. Another one.
Protest plan. Protest should have been planned during the summer. Protest should have been planned all the way through the fucking summer, during the fucking Euros, during the fucking Olympics. No, we sat on our fat asses and did absolutely nothing.
Maybe you just need media. You just need media coverage.
So amazing. He'll revolutionise the squad. He'll get his own players. Oh,
he did get his own players. He got Ben White.
No,
Ben Short. Yeah.
Sorry. After we lost against Hibs, we should have been protesting from the start.
I'm surprised none of you's had the balls to go and protest that around Ibrox, because to be fair, it's a former club, makes more sense than Hibs.
But even then, once we lost against Chelsea, 2-1. With our full strength squad, they had half a squad. That should have told you, no, we're not ready. Protest it. It's not right.
Yeah.
It's wrong. It's done. It's finished. But no.
This is why I said to you on the last stream, mate. Chelsea aren't your rivals anymore. It's Brentford.
Yeah. We are. Yeah.
We got told it was pre-season. It's only pre-season.
You didn't win a single pre-season game, didn't you?
That's the point.
They won 2, didn't they?
Oh, why are we so shit? Oh, well, maybe because you didn't watch pre-season, mate. Did you watch it? I didn't watch it.
Why are you so shit? Because you bantered Spurs for all those years, and now Spurs fans have got all the ammunition they need. If they win a trophy this season, I swear to God, Arsenal fans are going to be hiding. With all due respect,
is that Maisie
will be hiding.
That Maisie, Devils United.
Yeah.
Is that Maisie? Yeah. Big up Maisie.
Big up Maisie, Devils United. Big up Stephen, Reese, Tony, Connor. The protest will be nothing but a social gathering. Right, again, because it's the first home game for Arsenal. And I'm like, come on, boys. They'll be all like this. Come on, boys. Don't upset your mentality. Come on.
We already know what the result's going to be anyway when you play Chelsea next week. It's going to be Arsenal Chelsea 1. Like it'll be typical Arsenal. It'll be typical Arsenal turn up and win.
Big up.
Yeah.
And
why do we do it against the bigger clubs? That's what I want to know.
By the way, the link for the channel, for Maisie's channel, is in the description below. Make sure to go subscribe now. If you haven't already. Big up. Who needs to banter your rivals when you could just banter you every day? Oh, really?
To be fair, it is easy to banter Stephen. It's very easy.
I'm supposed to agree.
It's honestly easier to banter Stephen.
Friends to go nuts, isn't it, all the time?
It's easier to banter Stephen than it is to do a full plate of dishes, like clean them and dry them and put them away. It's that easy to banter Stephen. You just need to mention Arsenal Football Club.
Reece, I can take the banter. Some Arsenal fans can't.
By the way, Reece, I was going to banter United today, right? But I can't really because you thrash Leeds. But then saying that they are more open than a prostitute out there, mate.
I know. I mean, you can't. True. I mean, you can't banter the team that's. You can't banter the team that's top of the league.
Yeah, or you can banter. You can banter Reece.
Play the team that's more open than a prostitute, didn't you? Basically.
Hang on.
Let it all go in there, mate.
I've got to wait. Hang on, I've got to read this comment out.
They get screwed more times than it. Yeah.
Banter Reece, cough, Burnley.
I can't hear you all the way from space. Mindless space.
Top than Chelsea.
Do you know what? I wouldn't be Spurs. I think if I was a Spurs fan, I'd be very excited. Their recruitment's been very good. They played very well today, and I think it's. I'm not saying they're going to win stuff, but I think it's certainly a very exciting time to be a Tottenham fan.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to go under the radar.
They've got a decent manager.
Yeah, they're going to go under the radar this season, but I wouldn't be surprised if they finish top 4. Would not be surprised.
Yeah, what
guys, you can join the stream if you want, guys. The link is in
Yeah,
the
let's
chat.
all take the piss out of Arsenal. Come on, guys.
But by the way, Connor, what are you actually doing here? You're not even in the Prem.
Oh,
mate.
it doesn't.
Literally
No.
saying
Oh,
that.
you want to start, do you? You want to start? You want to start?
Space, are you trying to say I'm out of this world?
No, I'm definitely not. I think you're in mindless space.
Oh, you two just need to get a room. I mean, all this flirting and talking, all the business. I mean,
No, thank you.
oh no, Steven's already claimed.
Yeah, you managed to, you know. That woman you met there.
What about me? I don't know what you're talking about.
What was her name there, Stephen? You met one there. What was her name, mate?
What?
What was her name, mate? The one in Manchester, eh?
Don't know who you're talking about. I have no clue. Can't remember.
Well, Maisie was it? No, sorry.
Maisie the Knicks.
I'm on the garlic bread. Nitish, how are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I knew you would say something with that cheekiness in your voice.
What was the result?
Yeah, 2-0 to Brentford. We lost 2-0 to Brentford.
Yes, you did.
You did, yeah.
Any chance you...
Let's repeat that, shall we?
Any chance
You lost
still
2-0 to Brentford.
Still believing in Arteta?
You got stung by the bees.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm still going on the same way because I need him to
Stung
be back.
the shit out of you.
Hang on, let him go.
Sorry, mate.
And I read stories today, people talking about Antonio Conte coming to Arsenal. Are they like on the same weed that they were smoking while they were saying Daniel Ek is going to take over at Arsenal? Daniel Ek isn't coming to Arsenal. Conte isn't coming to Arsenal. We may get another mediocre manager for which we'll have to wait maybe 4 to 5 games. They may hire Per Mertesacker for like 4 to 5 games, take charge without any backroom staff. Then they will get another mediocre manager, and that's how it's going to be. So I don't mind. But
who needs to banter Arsenal fans when they banter themselves?
Yeah, exactly.
It's a fact. No, it's a fact because the season before the last one, when Emery was about to get sacked, I was like, there is no story going around about any manager, forget top manager, any manager linked with Arsenal. So if these guys are seriously thinking about sacking Emery at this point of time, we don't have any plan to get any manager in because there is no rumor or any talks happening. So what are they going to do? If they sack him now, I would prefer Emery being sacked at the end of the season. They sacked him mid-season.
Now you've only played one game in this season. You could afford to just sack Arteta now and then just get somebody in who's actually more experienced.
Who is the backup manager? What, Mertesacker? Mertesacker's he's won a World Cup. He's actually won more than him.
He's
won the World Cup, but I'm pretty sure in terms of a player, Arteta's won more than.
No, it's not about the player. It's about the manager. Freddie Limburg.
One at a time.
Sorry, mate. Sorry.
Freddie Limburg was part of the Invincibles. They didn't give him a backroom staff. He lost 4 games out of 5. Or drew 1 game, lost 3 and 1. One was a win.
In terms of the long term, mate, it's better than what we've got right now, mate.
Why don't you just go and get Tony Adams? He is an actual manager.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't think he's done much as a manager.
Tony Adams as a player, more like.
He got sacked from Portsmouth and he got sacked from Spain.
What? They did a survey and he comes second from bottom as one of the top managers in the league.
Yeah, we should.
Second from bottom. 0.2%.
And the problem is without giving someone proper money and backing, which manager will want to come? Which top manager will want to come to Arsenal?
I think there's some managers that can respond without backing. It's just a matter of how you coach it. Like, you can get experienced manning just to re-stabilize yourself.
I mean,
do you think they're back Rafa a lot at Everton? Think he get back?
Benitez never gets any backing in anyway.
He does fucking brilliant, doesn't he?
Some managers can pull something out the bag. This is the thing. Like,
the thing
about working with what you've got, and he can't work with what he's got. He can't.
Rafa always like, look what he done with Newcastle.
Maybe you just need me as your manager. Maybe you just need me.
You could have put the whole of our best 11 out there. It would have made a difference. Not a difference. Because we got schooled. We got bullied.
Yeah, we wanted it more.
I just don't know if you've got...
By Arteta's mentality. Arteta's mentality is shit. It's not. It's weak.
The thing is, right, and I think we can all agree, you know the style of play he wants to play. You know what he wants to play. He wants to play that. He wants to play that Barcelona type style, the tiki-taka. The problem is, and this is a clear given fact, he's not going to get the backing to get the players he actually wants to fit the style. And two, he doesn't have the managerial experience to enforce a style of play on the spot and then stick to it. He then chops and changes. You're better off getting someone who knows the league, can get a style in straight away, whether if it has to be go against the Arsenal way, beat like that you're used to, which is attacking. If you have to go and get a defensive manager for a while, stabilise yourself, then bring in an expansive manager, then so be it. The problem is, A, you've got the board in charge who I don't particularly know what manager to identify, and two, there's no guarantee that they're actually going to get the backing they need. They'll be gone within a year because they'll be like, well, why am I not getting back properly? I've had enough.
Exactly.
And to add to that, Emery is a guy who does stabilize the defense to an extent. But the problem is, when he came to Arsenal, he realized that no matter what kind of defenders I bring in, they don't know how to defend in this team. And rather than doing and focusing on that defense, what I should do is I should play an open style where I score 5, you score 2, or you score 3, and we win the game. When he tried to do that, first season everything was good. He had creative midfielders. He had attacking players who were in form. Next season, they let go of Ramsey. They shifted the balance. They told him, don't play Ozil. Ozil gone. Ramsey gone. Some of the other guys left the club as well. So then they did not replace. They got him Dennis Suarez to replace that void.
You got Dani Ceballos as well.
They didn't stop Ozil playing until after the pandemic.
Yeah, but overall, you could see the difference. He was trying to, because he got Dani Ceballos, who got injured as well, he was trying to fit in Lucas Torreira there as a cam.
He should have played, he could have played Lucas Torreira on his own as a lone holding midfielder. Now, he actually would have worked.
So
there's so many things wrong. There's one thing I remember as well that's important.
To be fair, instead of he had the chance to buy defenders, but he bought one left back and that was it. He could have quite easily got.
He wanted Maguire.
He did.
Well, no. Like he could have quite easily got anyone else. Like I mean, we've been after Dunk for a few years. We could have easily got Lewis Dunk, right? Instead of getting Aaron Maguire, but he went and got a washed up David Luiz. And instead of focusing on like a £72 million Pepe, he could have broken 30 million up for trying to get Lewis Dunk.
The only reason you got David Luiz, though, the only reason
he wanted Zaha as well, didn't he?
Yeah, David Luiz he got because Laurent Koscielny left and he needed a captain and a replacement, a cheap replacement at that point of time.
Yeah.
Otherwise, David Luiz was never on the cards. See, it is the club. I'll tell you one thing simple. A manager like Emery was moving one step forward, the club will push him 2 steps back. And then by the time he tries to deal with the problem, he's already 4 steps behind.
But so far, Arteta to this point has got, until this transfer window, has got what he wanted. And unfortunately, he has not made it work.
The one thing he has to remember is he has to stamp authority. I do not think he is stamping his authority on this team.
They played like they couldn't give a fuck. They played like it was pre-season. They know, this manager's so shit. It's so poor. What's the point? What's the point in treating it like a Premier League game? We're not going to win anything this year with this manager. I'm disillusioned with it. That's what.
There was the Rangers game that we dominated the Rangers game. We dominated the Rangers game. We played well against Chelsea and Spurs. Yes, they didn't want to. And the main thing is, the main problem again, Thomas Partey got injured in that game as well. That was another concern. But the overall thing is, the thing with the team is right now, if you look at this team that was put out against Brentford, fans wanted Martinelli, give us Martinelli, Martinelli started. Fans wanted give us Balogun, Balogun started. Fans wanted Pepe, Pepe started.
Only because Lacazette, Aubameyang,
yes, whatever reason. Yes, these were the players that the fans wanted to be played.
Never seen them on the pitch otherwise.
This is what your manager needs to do, right? This is what your manager has to do. It's good to listen to your fans.
Anyone that counts that Spurs result as a good performance, seriously, I'm sorry.
We lost it. We lost the game.
I don't care. Losing a game against Spurs is not a good performance. End of. It's not.
No, of course it ain't.
This is what your manager needs to do, right? This is like the easiest thing is It's good to listen to your fans, but when fans call for a player to be played, it'll either be for personal reasons such as favouritism, or it'll be because they don't want one player in the team. The manager needs to turn around and go, "This is my team. I don't give a fuck. I'm not going to listen. I'm going to play my team, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp authority." I think Arteta's just too soft. If he had a backbone, I guarantee you Lacazette and Aubameyang would never play for you again.
No.
Well, yeah.
And to be fair, it's the right decision because they don't deserve to play for you ever again because they're both shit.
No.
With respect to the Brentford game, our kids got bullied by Brentford is a well-built team and they have like physical players. Our kids got bullied against them.
Yeah.
The bullied us.
I'm sorry, we shouldn't. I'm sorry, we should not.
And Leno is absolutely shit.
Oh yeah, Leno's
Well, I think we knew that for a while.
I'm sorry. we should not. We should not, as an Arsenal side, be letting people go into games, even if it's their first game of the season in the top flight, and thinking, you can have them, easy. They can come to the Emirates and think, it's easy.
Never go in thinking you've won the game just because you're better on paper. You've got to earn a result.
No, what I'm saying is like I'm sitting there thinking, like, don't make them think that, we're just easy to play against. Like, give them something to, like, fear. Like, we don't give anyone any fear when they play against us, which is why it's so easy to beat us. Right? And we just, once we get a goal down, we just roll over. We don't know what to do. We don't know how to answer.
This is why I said earlier on when I mentioned the whole Arsenal fans think Arteta's better than Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He's not purely because Solskjaer knows exactly what to get of his players when a result. Look at yesterday. We went 1-0 up against Leeds. They equalised. Fantastic goal. Did our heads drop?
Great goal.
Did our heads drop? No. We controlled the game. We took the game
going,
back
didn't you? Yeah.
Exactly. We put 4 past them. We ended up winning 5-1. We controlled the game. If that had been a different sort of game, we would have lost that because we would not have had the mental sense to keep going. We would have just folded. We're in such a position now.
Well, Fernandes, he was immense, wasn't he? Yes,
but look at the difference in your team and our team. What were we playing? Balogun, who's making his Premier League debut. Martinelli, who just came back from the Olympics. He's not even trained much with the team. Hold on. Pepe, who was getting pushed around by the Brentford defenders. Everyone was saying this is Pepe's season. He was invisible. He tried to do a few things, but he was being easily brushed around. Look at the Manchester United squad. Bruno Fernandes, Greenwood. Who else? Okay, Cavani was injured. Pogba. All these guys. If you compare your squad with our squad, there is no comparison.
I'm not making a comparison here, but I'm just saying, you look at what we did in pre-season as well. We were playing Andreas Pereira, who's just not good enough at all. We were playing our youngsters as well. We played the likes of James Garner. We played Galbraith. We played Ethan Laird until we sent him on loan. We played Tahith Chong. We were giving those guys minutes because we knew exactly what we were going to do with them. Arsenal have got no vision when it comes to their young players. We actually have a vision. That's why I'm saying that's why our manager's better as well, because he knows what he's going to do with his squad.
We didn't need to play Balogun on his Premier League debut. Didn't need to.
No, you didn't have to. You chose to.
Then who would have replayed yesterday?
Well,
you could have played Pepe up front.
Saka on the right. He put Pepe on the left. He put Martinelli up front. Martinelli has scored plenty of goals. Martinelli has scored plenty of goals up front for Arsenal in either Carabao Cup or in the league. He did it against Chelsea. Right? I just
look at I don't see a plan B in your club. I don't see a plan B.
No, it's no-brainer, isn't it? What you got to do?
First game ever for Arsenal and throw him to the Wolves. That's what we had to do.
Mm-hmm.
He threw him to the Sharks and let him eat alive.
He had a decent performance, but the thing was
he doesn't care about youngsters. He doesn't care about them at all. He just throws them in like that and expects them to be swallowed up and whole and let the fans have a go at them.
Wait, no one is having a go at Balogun. If someone is having a go at Balogun, they are disturbed probably. And the entire last season, you wanted Balogun to be playing in the Premier League. He's playing in the Premier League now.
Yeah, I think if anything as well, they felt big pressure because he never played in much last season, did he? Let's be honest. And then he threw him in against Brentford Friday, sorry. And then so he threw him in against them, as you say, to the Wolves, and they think, well, say if we have a great game, he'll still drop us. That could be the thing, wouldn't it? You see what happened last season? People were playing out their skins, Pepe, whatever, he still dropped them in the next game, didn't he? He kept dropping them, you know, playing superb performances, yet, well, oh, you'll be dropped for the next one. What does that say to them, you know, to these players?
With respect to Pepe, again, he cannot play under pressure. If he performs in the next 2 games, that will be brilliant, but I don't see him doing much. Pepe gets out muscled. That is his one major problem. He was so badly out muscled against your defenders. The Brentford defenders were just pushing him around for fun. He couldn't do anything.
Yeah, we wanted it more. We wanted it.
Also, we were very static. The problem is we were so easy to mark out the game because, as usual, we're not. When, for example, right, and I'll give you an example. And this probably shows the difference in levels of manager, right? When, say, sort of Iraq came from Palace to Arsenal, and from Premier League to the side to Arsenal side, right? The reason he had a culture shock is because he had players running around making different runs here, there, and everywhere, right? When you see Arsenal do it now, you see no one doing anything. They're static. They are static like a beanpole, right? They don't do nothing.
Exactly.
They just stay in their position, and then they wonder why. They wonder why they get marked out the game. And this is the same thing. Pepe, not excluding Pepe. Pepe was marked out the game, but when he tried to make things happen, he didn't get anything done, right? When he also let me see that daily as well. When you when you also bring in Balogun. No, I'm not gonna have a go at him because it's his first start, but he was like isolated because he wasn't making runs. Martinelli wasn't making runs. Smith Rowe wasn't making runs. Now, surely these players have done it before under a different manager before, so surely it can't just be them. It can't be them. I've seen them do it before under a different setting. I saw them Martinelli do it in the Olympics. So it must be the manager. It must be the manager setting the instructions. So if the manager's not setting the instructions for him to make runs and create space, right, it's down to Arteta's tactics. Simple. And Arteta's tactics is he can't get them to create space and create openings for us to have a proper shot on target. And which is why we take 10 minutes to fucking create anything.
They were doing it the entire second half of the last season. Only in the first game against Brentford, who is Balogun, who's making his debut, has not done it. Lacazette was doing it. Smith Rowe was doing it. Saka was doing it. They were all creating spaces and chances. That is how we were winning games in the second half of the last season.
Yeah, you had to rely on the youngsters like Saka and all that all the time. And that ain't right.
Yeah, without Saka, our creativity takes a toss. That is the main problem. Smith Rowe is getting into it. But again, we still need that one senior striker. Like last season, everyone was saying that get rid of both, maybe Aubameyang and Lacazette. But unfortunately, we can't get rid of both of them. We need one of them at least. And Lacazette is the more, you can say, more better player than Aubameyang in that sense. So one of them has to stay, one of them has to go.
He's ever stay because he's on more money, isn't he?
Hang on, Arteta told us he was backed. Where's the signings, mate? You're part of the problem. You make the signings. You're the manager. So if you say you're backed and you've got the signings, where are they?
Yeah, he's bought the wrong players.
You are the manager, not the head coach. You're the manager. So you are part to blame. Where are they?
Stephen, can I just say, sorry, mate.
We all blame manager. We all blame Wenger when he didn't get the signings in. So why is it Arteta doesn't get the excuse?
No, I'm saying he's not been backed. As simple as that. Two youngsters who are long-term prospects and one centre-back who's a first-team player. I can understand when...
We didn't need him.
I want to make...
that's what I was just going to say, Stephen. Sorry, mate.
Welcome to the channel, MUFC Daily. How are you, mate?
I'm good.
Big up, mate. Big up.
Nice to have you on. Go for it, man. Banter us. About your team.
Nah, I mean, I've never thought Arteta was the right man. there was just something like I get that team was young, but it's like Arsenal for them. I don't mean to be rude, but it's like top four would be almost like it would almost be almost impossible. You could say not impossible, but like it would be normally like they were wanting Wenger out for getting top four, like getting four, and I don't know if you know this guy. He's called Ty from AFTV.
Oh yeah, you know him. Yeah.
He went on to like Sky Debate with Jamie Carragher, and I get that he's passionate, but it's almost like he almost thinks Arsenal are the Arsenal of old, and that
He thinks Arsenal are the greatest team in the world, and no one else is better.
yeah. I mean, I think what's happened to Aubameyang? Why isn't he starting? What's happening with Lacazette? Because
I think it's because Aubameyang and Lacazette are on the way out.
I think Arsenal.
They went off on the lads' weekend, didn't they?
Yeah,
on the jolly.
Go on.
Yeah, sorry, mate. Yeah, go on.
I think Arsenal regret giving Aubameyang that contract because that's when it seemed to go downhill. Because what was he on? 300k a week or something? No one's now going to really want to buy him. I mean, but if they tried to sell him, like, they may have got, like, maybe you could say 80 million because at that time, Aubameyang was playing, like, out of his skin. He was, like, carrying. But it's really gonna... I still think they're going to get, like... I think they're going to get 8, personally. But it's not looking good for Arsenal right now. And I think that they need to sack Arteta. And with a Conte, he's like a guy that's been mentioned. I just don't think Conte would want to go because I think he wants to win now. Whenever he goes to a club, he wants to win now.
Yeah, certainly.
He doesn't really want to be there for like a long-term project. He wants to. So, has he really been backed? I mean, you could look in 2 cents for me. I don't think the signings they've made is right. Like, Nuno Tavares is very young. He's not the finished product yet.
He's a rookie, isn't he?
Yeah. Lokonga, I can't say much because I haven't really watched a lot of him.
Another rookie in the Premiership.
Ben White, I mean, it was a good signing in terms of, he's a defender, but they way overpaid for him. At times I didn't even think he was the best defender at Brighton last season.
No.
So it's really all, but I'm not here to banter Arsenal. I'm here to banter at Manchester City because they
yeah, they did lose, didn't they? Today?
They lost to a Spurs team without Harry Kane.
Yeah.
Charlie, I hope you're watching. I hope you're watching.
Yeah, Charlie's crying now. Crying himself to sleep.
Tony.
Yeah, I mean, for me,
go for it.
I don't get. I mean, Grealish, you can't really blame him. I'm not gonna say.
He's shit, He's shit, Adam. He's shit.
Yeah.
He was today. He was today. I think he will come good again. I think he will be good.
Yeah. I just don't get why City went for Grealish before Kane. I think you should have gone for Kane before Grealish. He isn't worth 100 million. And this may be unpopular, but I don't think he's better than Jadon Sancho. I really think that.
Well,
I think we did the better deal personally. Because I see people saying, why did you would much rather have Grealish? And I'm like, no, I'd rather have Sancho. Grealish is like, what, 26? Yes, he's not that old, but Sancho's 5 years younger, cheaper. And Man U needed a right winger. They didn't need Grealish because we have Rashford on that left wing. We weren't going to drop Rashford, let's be honest. Like, Ollie, he has too much face. Like, realistically, would Grealish get ahead of Bruno? No, he wouldn't.
No.
Pogba? No. Rashford, you could make a little debate, but I don't think he would. So, I think Grealish, as much as like it looked like a good signing, I just didn't really think that it was that much that needed, especially how much you pay for him. they really need a Harry Kane to, you know.
Yeah. Well, they probably will get him, won't they?
Yeah,
Looking at it.
Harry Kane after
To
transfer
be honest,
request, after his
to be-
team he wants to go to just lost to the team he's playing for.
no, he's not playing. He's not playing for them.
Yeah.
He's not playing for them. He's sitting on the bench for them.
Wherever he was on the bench or whatever, wasn't he? He wasn't even
No,
playing.
he didn't even make the bench, I don't think.
No, I mean I don't mean the literal bench. I mean the bench on the way out. But what I was trying to say is, as long as we get Bernardo Silva from Manchester City, I'm okay with it. Hopefully we can convince him.
Do you really think that's going to happen?
You couldn't afford Bernardo Silva.
I don't think your owners are gonna give that much money. For me,
He's 50.
as much as a
Silva
United
be
fan,
brilliant.
it's been frustrating to see a Man U fan bantering City. Okay.
Hang on, mate.
We can I can banter whoever I want.
I don't know who you are, but please do subscribe to the channel. But I just want to let you a little song, mate. And I know I'm an Arsenal fan, but I love to sing this because you are meant
Yeah.
to eat. This is how it feels to be City. This is how it feels to be small.
Now,
this is how it feels when you.
I really think that the more I'm thinking about it, before I was certain
Charlie might hear that.
I thought City was certain going to win the league, but I'm having a bit of doubts whether they will win the league because I just feel like, I feel like this could be a little bit of a dip for City because Ruben Diaz didn't have the best game today. He basically was the reason that goal went in, and I saw a video early on saying from a City fan, he was saying that John Stones is clear of Raphael Varane.
What?
What was he thinking?
What the fuck?
Yeah, he's saying Stones clear of Raphael Varane, and
no.
I don't get all of a sudden why a lot of rival fans, I'm not saying everyone, but a lot of my friends as well are saying that Varane was overrated and got carried by Ramos. And it's like, who did he get carried by in the World Cup then?
Yeah.
Yes, he didn't have the greatest Euros, but the fact that City fans saying Laporte's better than Varane. I'm sorry, didn't Laporte have to change nationalities because he couldn't get ahead of Varane?
Yeah.
In the French.
Exactly.
I think Jonathan mentioned in the chat once when you signed for it that you were going on. You should have got Ramos and this, that, and the other. And I'm like, no, I'd rather got him for the long time.
Ramos and Varane both needed each other as much.
Mm-hmm. But then, I just want to also just make this point is that I don't like it when fans do that comparison. It's like when. I remember when you signed Varane, and then literally people were like, "Oh, you got these stupid Arsenal." You could tell they're trolls. They're not Arsenal fans. They're just trolls. That's what they are. They're not Arsenal fans at all. So yeah.
I didn't get the White and Varane comparison.
I don't get it. They just do it to wind you up.
The reason, let's just say this: Arsenal.
Reminder. You mean reminder, mate? Okay. Arteta has more trophies in Arsenal than Oli in Man United. Arteta came later.
Yeah, but is that Phyllis? Do we get a lot out of that or not?
That doesn't.
We're gonna flake with the FA Cup,
mate. Look, they've won the league 20 times. They've won the Champions League 3 times.
And
the FA Cup.
I don't know
how many times
we finished.
I didn't miss that. I missed that bit. But I don't think you can count the League Cup, to be honest. But let's just say they've won more trophies than Man City. So
yeah,
they're still above us, and they got to the Europa League final.
This is the whole point of banter the rivals. This is what I love about it.
the problem.
One team that I think is going to surprise everyone this season, because before I was certain they're going to get relegated. I think Brentford could surprise people,
Yeah, cheers, man. Cheers.
I said Brentford will stay.
I'm a huge.
That was before the game, by the way.
I always wanted United to go by Ivan Toney because he looks such a class player.
Yeah, but you can't have him. Sorry.
Yeah, it's fine.
Adam, you were saying every single striker that you've seen on FIFA, you were literally going, let's just go and get fucking Pats and Daka now, man.
Pats and Daka's good though.
He's quite good.
I'm going to bring you a comment up. So I'm going to bring you a comment up. Now, this is not directed like you talking rubbish, by the way, Adam. So just bear that in mind.
You do realize.
Walker, are you sure you haven't got a pair of teeth and a tongue in your ass, mate? Because he's very good at talking.
Are you mad? Are you mad?
I knew that was coming.
It's because at the time he was looking. He said, "Where can I find some strikers? Let me look up some strikers." To try to find some strikers.
It's good to have a range of strikers, but I think some people just forget certain strikers, and they just look at them going, nah, "You'll do."
Oh, not the other one though, Stephen. You do with talk. What's the other one? Where he goes, "Come on," "Come on, ref." I mean, sorry. They go, "Does it come on England?" Wouldn't it? Supposed to be or whatever. It's
when,
so funny.
when we were winning all those trophies, I was drinking Pepsi Max and still am.
Mate, it was 2013. I don't know how long ago it was for you, mate, but
we literally won. Fair enough, we've not won a trophy. We've not won a trophy.
Mate. I don't know what you're on about.
We've not won a trophy in 4 years. Fair enough, that's a fact. But the difference is we've still got more trophies than Liverpool, for fuck's sake, and they've only started returning to Trophy Land. Man City haven't got as much as us. They're still dreaming.
Hang on, it's only been.
Cheers, Hamish. We will stay up.
So, what are you on about?
Brentford will stay up.
Yeah.
Hamish Dunlop's got it right there. He said we're going to stay up. We are. So that's it.
Yeah, decent club. I like Brentford. I like watching them play. They're a decent club.
Yeah, man. We got Palace next as well. Should beat them.
Yeah.
When do you play Arsenal again so you can beat them?
Oh, God knows. It'll be Christmas time when we beat them, and then they go, I'll tell you, won't it? Yeah, Christmas time.
Yeah. Can you give us the birthday? Can you give us the Christmas present now?
Yeah.
Can I get it for my birthday? Make it October. Do a deal.
Send you our set a week. How about that?
No. Just get him sat by the 30th of October. I'll be happy.
Yeah.
Who would you bring?
Over.
Steven doesn't realize his Arteta is going to be here for the next 2 years.
Oh no! Don't tell him that.
If that's the case, I'm going to jump myself off the nearest bridge.
When you do, can you wear an Arteta shirt saying "I'm trusting the process"?
Which would be worse, wearing that or?
This is me trusting the process. Bye, everyone.
It could be a load of fans jumping off that bridge, I think.
Imagine
trust the process, trust the milk machines.
Imagine if the story of the if an extension story comes out, Steven. Yeah, I know. So just wait for it. Just wait for it. Probably an extension story will come out soon.
Oh, good.
5 year deal, 350K a week.
Mate, I'll pay you 350 grand a week to get out. Man United fans pointing out Alex Ferguson glory days is like.
At least we had glory days.
He's the type of person that thinks Pep's better than Ferguson.
Oh, the delusional. They're the worst fans in existence.
Yeah.
There's genuine fans out there that actually believe that Guardiola is better than Alex Ferguson. Need to give their heads a wobble.
Exactly, yeah.
They're the ones that don't watch football.
No way. Well, what do you think Ferguson is still win? If he was still here now, do you think he'd still win it for United?
He'd definitely force these wankers to play properly. He'd make Arsenal Premier League champions.
He'd get, but to be fair, this is a point. He'd probably get criticised because his management style would probably be too
extreme for the modern game.
Yeah.
To be honest, Pogba wouldn't.
You know it's true.
Yeah.
No, but then again, to be fair, I would say no because.
Yeah, all the respect as well.
Yeah, you see how he treated Cantona to other players. He knew how to treat every player differently to suit them.
That's right.
So he knew how to manage. So if Pogba had to be treated in a special way, he'd do that to get the best out of the
He
player.
took no shit.
He was the one who sold.
Obviously,
he was the one who sold Paul Pogba, by the way.
Yeah, to start with.
Yeah. But he would.
That's a fact.
If he hadn't sold it, he wouldn't have to pay all that money to get him back again.
Look, to be honest, if he said, if Guardiola was being a twat and Pogba came out of the press and said he wanted to do this, do that. But
what about Stan?
Well, unlike Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who'll probably have this hesitation of keeping Pogba, right? He would have just gone, boom, bye. You ready? You got rid of Stam like that. Got rid of Van Nistelrooy like that. Boom, gone.
He made those decisions because he knew the team was right.
He's one of your greatest defenders, Stan, though, wasn't he? And just because he said something against him, that was it.
He did say that was his. He did say that was his biggest mistake as a Man United manager, was letting Stam go.
Unknown. Unfortunately, it gave Arsenal an excuse to keep Arteta. That's probably the worst thing out of it.
Steven, it's okay. You can cry Kroenke is a river. They're not sacking him.
No, I'll just keep reminding you when we're getting worse and worse and worse and worse.
See, at the end of the day, if the
manager wouldn't do this.
At the end of the day, we aren't getting a half decent manager.
Maybe
he's not going anywhere.
A mediocre manager, but at least a manager with even relegation experience couldn't even fucking do this.
Nah, last season I heard a lot of talk about Ancelotti and all these guys who finished below us eventually.
Look at Ancelotti, he only lasted a season, didn't he? And he buggered off.
I mean, who would want to stay at Everton?
True.
Just wanted to, right, so there's Conte, not realistic. Ancelotti, no. Ten Hag, no.
Ten Hag's a good manager.
Ten Hag's a good manager.
Ten Hag, yeah. He's good.
They need money. They need something at least, a backing, a project. For you, he may be. For me, no. The guy is still battling relegation. Now he's lost Ben White. He's lucky he's not.
He's got a quality striker, mate. He needs a quality striker to convert the chances.
Hold on.
He should have lost Bazuma as well. Should have lost him if we'd gone for him.
He's lucky he's not lost Bissouma. If he would have lost Ben White and Bissouma, he would have probably ended in the relegation zone this year.
Well, actually, Bazuma we should have got instead of Ben White.
He needs a quality striker to convert the amount of chances he creates in games. If you look at the amount of chances he creates per game, if he has a decent striker, he'd be way up the table. He'd be in the top half. I'm telling you.
So what is stopping him from getting a striker?
The money being invested.
Money being invested.
Not really. He got
Neil Maupay. Manage what he's got. If you give him the strike force that Arsenal have got with the way he plays football, my God, we'd be playing better than this. We'd be playing better than this. I'm telling you.
I know a lot of Arsenal fans assume that Graham Potter will make us a better team, but I haven't seen. I mean, I have seen certain proofs of it, but not with Brighton. Brighton is not the example probably you should go to. Probably the team that he managed before, that is a better example. If you give me Brighton's example, I'm not going to take it seriously, honestly.
Yeah, because Brighton hasn't got a quality striker, but even with that Brighton side, he's managed to create a number of opportunities.
They've got Neil Maupay, but
what I'm saying is,
Maupay scored.
Look, what I'm saying is, he's still creating a number of opportunities to say if you put him in an attacking team like Arsenal's have got, you would be able to convert those chances, a lot more of those chances, and we'd be winning more games. Simple, because we'd outscore teams. Simple.
Okay, so now we have given them 50 million. You think if they get maybe a centre back and a striker with that 50 million, they should not be in the relegation zone this year?
Zidane, tu vois.
I'll be up. Sorry.
All right, Saeed.
All right, sorry.
Yeah, I'm alright. How you doing? I hope all is well with all of you.
Yeah, fine, mate. Yeah.
Sunday.
Some of us more than others. Fine.
Yeah.
We've got,
what?
So we've got Zidane to Arsenal. You all right?
Yeah.
Good.
Zidane. Yeah.
What do you want to say, Saeed? Go on, go for it.
Yeah, I mean, for me,
you know,
oh, sorry. Go on.
Like Arsenal fans, like they should stop overlapping all youngsters. They should play quality players. After playing two bad games, they're labeling a quality player as a shit player. That is a problem. They should allow the quality player to grow first. I'm a Barca fan, and first 10 matches of last season, Busquets has played bad. Everyone starts questioning Busquets. Why is he playing bad? We need to take him off and replace with some youngsters. And the manager, Koeman, did not do that. And after the 10 matches, he's like, he's the best player. He's best player than Messi on the pitch. We should allow the quality player to adapt first. Then we should think of the youngsters.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my view.
Since this is a banter stream, I want to ask you, why did Messi leave again?
Financial problem, man. Like I couldn't.
Okay, but honestly, if Arsenal gives a player 10 games, you have no idea how the fan base will react. If he doesn't perform for 9 games or 10 games, and then probably you think that he'll play in the 11th, you have no idea how this fan base reacts. There is no chance of players getting 10 games.
They could have played Pepe more. Pepe. I usually think Pepe is a good player again. Like, why they're bantering Pepe again and again? Like, they should allow him to perform. Like, he was going through so much shit again. Like, Arsenal fan bantering.
That's the problem. We don't play to his strengths at all.
Allow him to play. Allow him to first play freely. Like, don't expect him anything. Allow him to play freely. And again, fans are bantering. Like, he usually gets more banter from outsides. The racist messages and all those stuff. And he usually gets mind distracted of something. That's the thing. Like, fan base should be more encouraging than discouraging.
Yep.
Yeah. See, what are you saying, man? I've got time
Yeah, for me,
before I wrap this up.
Yeah, for me, I've never understood the argument. Let's say if you say that, for me, I don't think Arteta is good enough. I don't think he should be our manager. I think he's proven during his tenure here that he's not up for it. I've never understood if you, as a fan, say that this manager isn't good enough, that you should have the answer to who should be the manager. Because I'm not employed by Arsenal. I don't have the data that they are using or which philosophy or what project they are building to be able to say that this should be the manager. I don't have that information. The only information I have is what I see when the team plays. And I see that the team doesn't play good enough. We don't progress. We are not better. I even think that people, even the last 3 months, I think people react how much better we played. I think we played a bit better, but it wasn't that much better. And even if you look past the last 10 games in the league, we won the last 5 games in a row. But prior to that, we won 1 game, and the others we either drew or lost. But nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to hear that we lost in the FA Cup. Nobody wants to hear that we lost in the League Cup. Nobody wants to hear that we were losing a lot of games in the Europa League or drawing. We didn't get that much point as people want to state that we did. But if you look overall the whole season, it wasn't good enough. It wasn't good enough point-wise. It wasn't good enough how many goals we scored. And it wasn't good enough where we finished. And football is a performance-based sport. If you do not perform, then you have to go. The club is bigger than anyone, any manager. I don't care who you are. I don't even care if you're Pep Guardiola. If you don't perform, then you should go. The club will always stand before and higher than any manager. And for me, I haven't seen anything by Arteta that tells me that this guy is good enough to be Arsenal manager. Look at how many players he's signed since he came. and yet people still give him the excuse that he hasn't been backed. I don't understand that argument. Do you have to spend 500 million to be able to be backed? If you cannot develop the players that you have, if you cannot set a style of play, then that's down to you. Doesn't matter who comes in or who leaves. He signed 8 defensive players since he joined. Look at our defense, it's still all over the place. This is his signings. He signed Cedric. He signed Tavares. He signed Ben White. He signed Pablo Mari. These are his signings. So when people give him excuse after excuse after excuse, I don't understand. Why? What has he done? He won 1 FA Cup. It's a cup title. Well done. I respect you for that. But we have to move on from that. The team is embarrassing. Nobody fears Arsenal. Everybody wants to play against Arsenal. Nobody respects us. And it's because the manager, he doesn't even know how to use his players. Everybody knows that Pepe is a winger that needs to be near to the goal because his left foot is dangerous. Why are you having him down the right side, slicking the line? What is he going to do there with no overlapping right back? And you wonder why he's so inconsistent. His tactics are wrong. And he's not good enough to understand that they are wrong. He thinks that he's better than everyone, and that's why he's failing.
Well put. Well put. Simple as this, really.
I think changing the manager would make more sense. Like if you look at Chelsea, like last season, Lampard has managed and Tuchel has managed. You can see the difference, right? The difference between the experienced manager and normal managers, like average managers. You can see the difference between the experienced manager and younger ones. Like Arsenal,
they were
really
ruthless.
someone experienced.
Chelsea were ruthless, weren't they? They said, "Oh look, Lampard ain't doing it. Get him out. Let's get in a proper manager. You know, a experienced manager." I mean, Arsenal won't do that. The board won't do that. They ain't got the bollocks to do it. So they ain't going to do it.
The board has to be around to do that for in the first place. But the thing about Saeed's question was, again, last season Chambers was the one playing with Pepe when Pepe was flourishing towards the end of the season. He was the same guy playing with him against Brentford. So the only thing was that Pepe was being out-muscled against Brentford defenders. He couldn't take on them. If you look at the entire game, there were probably I don't think, maybe 1 free kick in the entire match that Arsenal had near the Brentford box, which was taken by Pepe. It was on the left-hand side of the pitch, which he just hit it and it went over the bar. I don't remember any other free kick in that entire game right through the 90 minutes, which we won near their box. So that shows that there were barely any take-ons done by any of the wing players. If you don't have any take-ons, you won't have any fouls, and then that means you don't have any free kicks. The other thing was in terms of people saying that Steven said one thing, that Martinelli was winning headers and scoring goals, or Martinelli and Balogun in the team. Those guys don't head the ball. But there was a corner, if you remember, in the game against Brentford as well. Martinelli charged to the near post. He flicked it on. So Martinelli is very capable of taking headers. He can actually score headers. The problem was...
I said Martinelli scored goals in the Premier League before. I didn't say anything about him scoring.
Okay, so maybe I just came on from another video. So the thing is, Martinelli was the one who was heading the ball, and when Balogun was taken off, he went to the center. But the thing was, Saka came on towards like around the 70th minute, so he couldn't get too much into the game. It was an immature and an inexperienced performances by some of these players who are still not ready to be in the first team. Whether you agree with me or not, Martinelli and Balogun need more time. If Martinelli would have been here with us for the preseason, I'm sure that he would have done more and he would have probably been into the team as well and playing more better football. But that game, the link up between Pepe, Martinelli, to an extent, Smith Rowe was the only one who was playing, and Balogun. There was no serious link up between the players up front. even if we had any kind of chances, the Brentford defense was so compact that they blocked out any of our attacks. So at the end of the day, if you're thinking that a player will just come into the team and start performing, it's not going to happen. You can blame the manager for it. I am not going to challenge it because we have lost the game again. But at the end of the day, you need to understand there were 2 or 3 people who 2 of those guys didn't have any preseason, Ben White and Martinelli, because they were Ben White just came in and Martinelli was away for the Olympics. Yeah. So the thing is, Balogun made his Premier League debut. I think if there would have been no problem with Lacazette and Aubameyang, I have no idea whether they were ill or whatever the incident, the stories are coming out.
They weren't ill.
It would have been more of a fight. We need more players. It would have been a good fight. It would have been a challenge at least. But the kids coming into a challenge, you can say trying to outmuscle Brentford defenders, it's not going to happen. Their players are physical. They just came from the championship. Our kids were not ready for it.
For a start, Aber and Laka don't want to know Arteta, do they? They can blame them, to be quite honest.
Anyway, we're gonna have to wrap it up there for now. It's been thanks again for everyone tuning in. It's been a great stream. Yeah.
Thanks for that again, Stephen. Thanks for having me on, mate.
You should probably change this. You probably should just change the description and say this wasn't banter rivals. This was just banter Arteta from all sides.
Banter
like it always is.
Could have done.
It's because I came on and he wanted to say so much. I wasn't available. I wasn't available for the post match reaction yesterday.
I was still moaning about Arteta. Don't you worry about that.
I know.
There's so much he has to do, and he's not got any time to fix it. And because of his inexperience, he won't learn from his mistakes.
But
probably
he's being too stubborn to not learn from his mistake.
He bought players that we didn't need to buy.
He's being too stubborn, saying I'm doing it this way.
Nah, the problem is that he's not being stubborn. The problem is that he's not being stubborn.
He is.
If he's being stubborn, he could have played
over and over again.
He's an arrogant prick, really. Let's be honest.
And people that have worked with him have said he is stubborn. He is arrogantly stubborn.
Lee Gunner said it, didn't he? When he met him, he said, Arteta said to him, what do you want? What do you want? And Lee Gunner said, well, I want to get an autograph. He goes, what do you want? And all that. I said, well, fuck off then, Don't blame him, really. So...
Anyway, we're going to have to leave it there. Make sure to smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, please. Please join the membership from as little as $1.99 a month. It does go to Children's Liver Disease Foundation. So please do that if you can. Big up Nitish. Big up Reese, King Tony, Say, who was here, Connor. What's your name? Sorry, that's down to Arsenal.
Yeah, call me Char.
Char. It's nice to have you on for the first time. Pleasure to have you on. Big up. Adam.
Thank you, man. Good talk.
Yeah. Cheers. Thank you very much. And if you want, please do smash the like and subscribe button. We're back tomorrow with a review of all the games from Matchday 1, and
should be good.
Yeah, and then Tuesday.
So we'll probably continue the Arteta and Arteta out thing there. Steven, one last thing. If you ever meet maybe a guy or a girl who doesn't know anything about football, the way you talk about Arteta, they'll think probably that's your girlfriend's name.
Nicely put, mate. Nicely put.
As in Totti would say, and on that bombshell, it's until then, everyone stay safe, stay well.
Thanks everyone. Bye.